Welcome to Business World. I'm your host Siddharth, and on today's edition of BWHotWires, we are talking to Mr. Ravi Chawla, Managing Director, CEO, Gulf Oil Lubricants, India. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So let's start this conversation with the current hot topic, COVID. Now, COVID has affected a lot of companies, a lot of OEMs. How has it affected Gulf Oil India?
I think Siddharth, when COVID actually happened and the national lockdown happened, obviously that was the year end, and that had an impact because year end you have a lot of incentives and a lot of trade schemes. So that was the first part of it. But I think for us it was paramount to get the safety of all our operations, our employees, prioritized, and we did that. I think from day one, and that has been one of the primary things which we have focused on right through. Business-wise, I think April, definitely the markets were closed, but in terms of lubricants, we do supply to the essential segments like agriculture and some industries which need to keep running. So I think for us, it was basically a four-point formula we looked at is how we can resolve, how we can be resilient, how we can reimagine, and then obviously how we can return. So these were the four pillars around which we based our approach and maintaining the safety. So I would say that we have looked at the situation where it has evolved, and we continue to keep this four-step or four-point mantra, which I think we are following quite diligently right through in everything we are doing in this time of crisis.
So now lockdown is over. It's in parts, but manufacturing is back. So now what kind of challenges are you facing with the current situation in terms of labor, in terms of staff, in terms of supply chain?
As we know, it's lubricants is one of the essential requirements, definitely for our agriculture segment, which was a key segment for us, where we were all in lockdown, and this food security or the supplies of various essential products was the most critical aspect. And I remember hearing one of the very, very senior people in our industry, in the auto industry, saying the rhythm of supply chain. So I think the rhythm of supply chain obviously were a lot of challenges. There was a lockdown, but we have focused quite, I would say in a very, very focused manner. We have gone into the restoration of our supply chain in a very safe manner. And that was from day one. Right from April onwards, we focused on that and getting the supply chain rhythm. At the same time, the safety aspect, which was, I would say, much more important also. So we have gone about that. We did get our plants started. We have two plants in Silvassa and Chennai, again following all the rules, all the various limitations, partial labor working. And some of our depots, warehouses started in April itself for partial working. And again, we have seen that in May and June, this is continued. There is partial working in certain places, but we now have both our plants, all our depots. Some of them are into semi-lockdown condition last few weeks. But all of them are now operating, and we are happy to share that we have seen that in the month of June, close to 80% of our markets are now open. In fact, we used to do our demand sensing based on the green, orange, and red zones. Our internal, focus has been on very high employee associates and trade and customer engagement. We don't do 12-hour days in video calls and all. We don't encourage that at all. We would like people to, because you are all moved to work from home. We have moved to work from home, and we wanted to have a balanced view. And we have been known to be very nimble, flexible. So I think maintaining our DNA and adapting has been a great experience, I would say. And the resolve, resilience, and reimagine and return. I think these four things has been really the fabric of our working so far.
Sir, mechanic community, a lubricants manufacturer and a mechanic community is closely related. So, sir, during this lockdown and the COVID situation, the mechanic community was obviously suffering because people are not going out, everything is shut. So, being Gulf Oil, how have you, what kind of solutions have you brought for the mechanic community?
I think, Siddharth, you are right. You see businesses which have bigger, larger corporates or even OEMs and other dealerships, they have a backup where they can sustain. But if you take the mechanic who's like a daily wage earner, he is the garages, he runs the independent workshops. This was the community which would have faced, I would say, the immediate impact of this, as we saw the closure of various, all activities, in fact. So Gulf was the first company, and in lubricants, the consumer, the mechanic, which is the influencer, the OEM, and the retailer, all these play a good role to obviously make our business happen. And the loyalty and the, I would say, the goodwill of the mechanics rubs off on all brands, like also Gulf. So we were the first company to actually take our mechanics are with us on a database. So actually, we gave them some support without any sales, without any questions asked. We were the first company in the lubricant industry to provide support to the mechanics directly through transfers, through food vouchers. And I think that has been really one of the our key cornerstones of partnership with growth as in relationships. And we have now also the mechanics, we have a bike stop program, which is our branded independent workshop program. We are doing a lot to support them to get back. In fact, we have given a app to them where they can now get the loyalty bonuses online through them. So these are the kind of initiatives which we have seen evolving, and we are happy to say that not only us, our distributors, our salespeople, whatever they could connect with them and support them, this was done, including providing sometimes food packets in certain locations.
So now the Indian auto industry has jumped from BS4 to BS6. Now, ideally, a lubricant doesn't really change from BS4 to BS6. So, has there been any challenges for Gulf Oil in this migration, or it has been a cakewalk?
Well, Siddharth, I would say that India decided to go from BS4 to 6, and Euro 6 is their similar global standards. We are a global brand available in more than 100 countries. So in our portfolio, we have all the lubricants necessary for this upgrade. Whenever the vehicles are undergoing this environment change, the specification change. So in India, this was I guess we went into skipping one step. So the challenge was to get the vehicles, test them out. We had the products. The products are slightly tweaked for BS6. I must share with you technically, because it requires a low SAPS lubricant, which meets the new fuel standards and the new emissions. And there are different parts of the engine now changing because of the emission standards improving. So the lubricant is different. So we had a challenge in getting the vehicles from OEMs, but once we got them, I think we have a lot of vehicles got tested with it in Indian conditions. And we are happy to see that we are ready in time. All the OEMs we deal with, right across from commercial vehicles to even cars and others, we have provided that, and we are ready. And clearly now, with I would not say it's a cakewalk, but we are ready with the product. It's available. Obviously, the OEMs are using it, and aftermarket demand will also start. In addition, we are a company who was making AdBlue, which is the liquid required for emissions. To improve emissions, it treats the gas. So in that technology, we have been making that for the last 5 to 6 years. So we also have that supplied, and that is really now, I think as the markets open up, we will see that this requirement will be met, and with our distribution and our OEMs, we'll be able to fulfill both the needs of BS6 and AdBlue.
So now, talking about challenges of BS4 to BS6, and now, sir, there is electric vehicles. So now electric vehicles are getting a big push globally from all stakeholders. Now, from Gulf Oil's point of view, how are you addressing this issue? Because electric vehicles will obviously require less lubricants. So going forward, what is the pathway that you are creating?
You see, overall electric vehicles, electrification, we have seen vis-a-vis the standard engine, which is there, the combustion engine. We are seeing that the adoption of this all over globally also, there are a lot of challenges in adopting this. The percentages are available for you to see the numbers. So the Indian market per se, lubricants is going to continue to grow because we see the population and the vehicle sales not taking the last, there's always a peak and a drop sometimes in the cycles. But overall, if you take the next 10-15 years, the lubricant industry will continue to grow. It is growing at about 2.5-3% overall. And we see that growth will continue overall in terms of lubricant demand. Per se, as electric vehicles penetrate more, you will see that there will be obviously that part of the demand will not come because it will lose less of engine oils. So I think that is something which we have to calibrate. We have to look at what is the going to be that penetration, because around electric vehicles you see there are a lot of challenges, right from cost of the vehicle, the battery, the challenges on the whole adoption of this technology, the government supports. And you have seen in many countries where the government support was there, and once it was not there, then again the pace was different. So I think now we will have to really look at this. We are going to be ready with whatever products are getting evolved in electric vehicles. You have some products which come in, and really for us, we don't see 10 to 15 years that the demand of lubricant industry will contract. But yes, electric vehicles based on the penetration levels may start substituting the vehicle park. But we always remember that there is 10 years of vehicle park which requires replacement lubricants. So that will continue to be, I would say, growth for the next 10 to 15 years. And we'll have to really calibrate as to how electric vehicles are being, becoming in terms of new vehicle park.
Is Gulf Oil also trying to look at electric vehicles as a business? Are you trying to work on any battery solutions, energy solutions in the electric vehicle sector?
Well, at the moment, you see, we are focused on the lubricants that we are making. We also do a small percentage of our sales into two-wheeler batteries, which we started about 6 years back. This was not at that time triggered off by the electric vehicle, expected growth. But interestingly, when we have a very strong brand called Gulf Pride, which is a two-wheeler motorcycle oil, which today commands a good market share. And we have been investing in the brand and the distribution, the technology. So we felt the retailers we are going to, they're also selling batteries, two-wheeler batteries. So we got into that. At that time also, there was a large number of imported batteries, unorganized sector. So we got into this, and we have about 1.5% market share here in the two-wheeler batteries. So in a way, I would say that the battery business for us, of course, these are conventional batteries, they're not the electric batteries. So we are trying to grow our market share here. And as a company, we are always looking out for newer areas to get in, and that will continue. But obviously, at the moment, there is nothing we can, which is on the table right now as we speak.
Now, government is pushing Atmanirbhar and self-reliance, make in India heavily. So now, what is your takeaway from this?
Well, I think it is important overall for India to have this, because not only do we develop our products in India, but we also become a source of products from India. So I think both of it is there, which we have clearly understood. And I must say that every product that we sell in India today is made in India. We have 2 plants. We have added capacity. In fact, in our Chennai plant was a new plant 4 years ago, and now we have capacity. So we are making every product that we sell here in India. So that itself is the, I would say for us, it is self-reliance in terms of our own products. And we continue to do that. And I think we're also looking at exports, which have started from India. Like we are exporting to 20 countries for many OEMs that we have tied up with. So we work very closely with all OEMs, Indian OEMs particularly. We have a very big share with some of the OEMs in India, and that continues to be with that self-reliance. And we are not only making for them in India, we are exporting to their markets. So I think these are the 2 things which have been the cornerstones. And I would say that that clearly makes us even more resilient to look at and reimagine if we can further take this piece up and do a lot more in India for the Gulf business.
So now lubricants is something which is a very low involvement product, wherein I would probably depend on my mechanic or my OEM if my car is in warranty period for the correct decision. Yet Gulf Oil has been growing unprecedentedly in India with big numbers. So how are you doing this, and what is your thoughts on this?
Yes, so Siddharth, you're absolutely right. The purchase decision for a lubricant varies from low involvement to what I call semi-involvement and high involvement. So based on the category and the type of, what is the lubricant you're using for in your vehicle or your equipment, you would take decisions based on not only the product, the influencer, the recommendation, and of course your own perception of the brand. So if you are riding a bike and you're in college, obviously you are riding it not only for commuting, you also enjoy riding it. So you would be quite passionate if the enjoyment part is more than the commuting part. So you would like to translate your product usage in that light if you are an involved person. So I think right from there to, if you take the truck owner, whether he's a single truck owner or he's a fleet owner, he would look at efficiencies. He would look at what value is the product getting. So the OEMs, you would go and buy a new vehicle, you would use the lubricant in the OEM workshop, and then if you're happy with it, you would say, let me continue. So I think this particular understanding of each segment and then giving products which can give a differentiation and add more value. Just to give an example, in 2006, trucks were using a diesel engine oil for 16,000 kilometers. So after 16,000, 18,000, they changed the lubricant because they had to get a new lubricant. Gulf was the first company to launch a lubricant with, a key OEM. We had Ashok Leyland, to launch a product which gave double the drain interval. So we launched a product which gave 36,000 drain interval, which is today at 80,000. So giving more value to the person who involves and sees the differentiation. At the same time, today we have our long-term brand ambassador, Mr. MS Dhoni. He's an avid bike rider, So today, when you look at the product and what he's been part of our brand for the last 10 years. Now, what we do is when he's a biker, he would talk about the product, he would talk about what the product can do, what he requires in the product. So just like Mr. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, there are lots of bikers who would see products where they require certain features. So we have different features in our motorcycle oil. We also promote it in different platforms. And we look at these, how we can differentiate our products and get people who are semi-involved, low involved, medium involved, high involved to consider our brand. And I'm happy to share that in our internal studies, we are placed at the second position in terms of brand consideration today. See, we have taken a very segment-wise approach. We look at each segment, whether it is B2C, B2B. We look at how we can succeed and how our strategies have to be very, very committed and sustainable. And we continue committing to that, and we follow the process. We look at how we can improve our segment approach. And today we have segments right from diesel engine oils, tractor oils, motorcycle oils. We have OEMs, we have B2B segments, we have infrastructure customers. So we have taken each of these segments, and our sort of internal spiel is how do we grow 2 to 3 times the market growth rate. So this has really been one of the reasons why you have seen the growth in Gulf, and we continue to in fact focus on these segments.
So now, since we are talking about strategies, consumers have started moving digital because now there is a contactless situation, social distancing. People are not going out, so everybody is on either mobile phones or the internet. So going forward, sir, what is your marketing strategy? What is your marketing mix going to be in the next 6 months or next 1 year?
Yes, I think the use of digital has gone up. So really reaching out, using digital in our communication strategies will be obviously evolving, and there is work going on that. So once the markets are going towards some sort of normalcy in June, we have seen, and hopefully it will improve. But yes, we have to look at the outside situation. So using more of digital communication, and as I mentioned, digital interfaces. We have, for example, now we have upgraded our IT systems. So how effectively we can talk to us like we are talking today. Really, that has become a key thing in terms of connectivity with our customer bases, in terms of giving webinars, training. All that has really reached a real, not only internal training, but external webinars. Again, I always say, let's not do 12 hours of webinars every day. It just drains you out. You need to look out of your window, relax a bit. But we are looking at many ways to reach out to customer, and digitization is going to mean, as I mentioned to you, today if my retailer can order on the app, my salesperson can obviously talk to him, but he doesn't need to go there. So then let me tell you what we did again as a first in the lubricant industry. We launched Gulf Suraksha for all our retailers opening in and all our distributors, right from sanitization, we have given lakhs of masks to all our customers, all our service points. So we have done a lot of things where we have used these, and also we are using digital interfaces now to give information on tracking to our customers in terms of their orders. We are looking at digitization on many processes which will help a lot of our B2B customers, how they can effectively work with us, right from like sample testing, quality control. So, things like this is now getting digitized. You just need to take a photograph and send it to us. We'll tell you how we can solve the problem or what is the actual problem. So these are the kind of things which I think will emerge.
So considering the current situation with the pandemic and even the industry slowly taking off, what is your future strategy going to be for Gulf Oil? And are we seeing any new products in the lubricant sector?
So I think the BS6 products are going to be available in the market. That demand is going to happen in the replacement market. So we are ready right across all segments. In fact, for a number of our OEMs like Piaggio, Ashok Leyland, these are there, and many more. We have the products ready. We have also the Gulf products which will be compatible in the BS6 environment. As I mentioned to you, we also manufacture AdBlue. So Gulf AdBlue, we have a license for that. We manufacturing it in our plant in Silvassa, and these will be available as new products. We are also looking at a number of products in each of the segments that we focus. Industrial products. We are looking at not only the motorcycle, the car segment, and the tractor segment, where we are upgrading some of our products for the newer specifications, which will help to give more value. So you see, today in this time where everybody is looking for value, how is the product going to help me to do my business better? How will it do better for me when I put it in my vehicle or my bike or my truck? So we are going to look at some value addition products which we are working on. We're also looking to launch some coolants that may come, which may be required. So some of these products you will see soon, part of the portfolio also.
Now, sir, what do you think is the road to recovery for the Indian automotive sector?
Well, I think the way we are looking at the unlocking happening, and definitely we are seeing personal mobility will become important, and of course safe mobility will be important. I think the one way is for the auto industry to look at how they can adapt to these safe practices and really make that important agenda item. The other is focus on a number of value products which can help overall. I think that will also really be there. And other is the cost. How do we bring the cost out of delivering the product? Because in today's times, whether it's, we are looking at our cost 2 years ago. What was our cost base? How we can provide the value? Because also there is that. So providing these solutions, I think focusing on a few key things that would be required in the next 1-2 years. Obviously the products will have to be simpler and more, value based. I feel that is important for the auto industry, and also look at, how we can provide the customer with, better deal in terms of the distribution, providing the services, in a more compactful manner. I think that will really help, and sensing the right products which will make its mark in this next 1 to 2 years. I think that is also equally important.
That was a great conversation, Mr. Ravi, and thank you for talking to us. Have a great day.
Thank you.